Cookbooks are a valuable culinary resource, but rarely do cookbook authors and restaurateurs combine quite like this. The author of this cookbook, A Taste of Canada, is Rose Murray, a Cambridge resident and a veteran cookbook author. She's combining forces with Hannah's Bella Bistro to give the public a unique taste of Canada. Rose, this is not your first book.
It's not. It's my 10th book, and I've probably contributed to over 40 other books, Canadian knitting books, homemakers, that sort of thing, because I wrote for those magazines for years.
Tell me about your first memory of really good food that you perhaps used as inspiration for a recipe article.
My first memory of really good food, I suppose, would have to be when I was growing up, because I grew up on a farm. We were a self-sustaining farm, so we grew everything we ate. We made our own butter, we made our own bread, of course, and we had a huge garden. And we preserved everything in the garden. And we had our own animals that we killed for meat. And I mean, it was good, real food.
Tell us about your latest book. What's it called?
This book is called A Taste of Canada, A Culinary Journey. And it is sort of the culmination of a lot of years going across the country, tasting food, getting to know what grows where, and what are some of the better recipes, the classic recipes that you might look for.
Your book is a feast for the eyes. I love the pictures in it. I love the little essays in there. What was your concept for the book, and how did it come to be?
Well, I think I should confess that it was my publisher. I talked with him and we talked about doing a book, and he wanted something like this. He just felt that the country is so full of wonderful resources and good food, recipes, and so on. He wanted a book that would sort of cover all of that. But I wanted to do the classic recipes that you would expect to find in a Canadian cookbook that's sort of pretty extensive. I wanted to sort of update them and include some of the new ingredients that some of the ethnic groups have brought to our country, for instance, and to sort of update them and make them recipes that people would actually want to make today.
Because of this book, A Taste of Canada, what other collaborations have you done?
Actually, I've done a couple of collaborations with restaurants, because restaurants are getting to realize that it's better to use local ingredients, and more restaurants are doing that. So I talk very much in the book about the importance of local food and regional food, and not going too far afield for your ingredients. So I have encountered a couple of restaurants so far who are very anxious, or have taken recipes from my book and made a menu of those. Hannah's Bella Bistro, for instance, Waterloo, Rocky, Raccoon Cafe. I know it's a funny sound, but it's a really interesting restaurant, Known Sound, for instance. And they have taken various recipes from the book and made a specific menu for an evening, and then had guests come and I talked to the guests about what the recipes were all about, and very fun evening. It was great.
A lot of people do not realize how diverse our food scene here is in Canada, and one of the people that I'm here with is Hannah from Hannah Bella's Bistro to talk a little bit about Canadian cuisine, as well as the collaboration between Rose and Hannah.
Well, this is something fantastic that I'm really excited about, because it's totally unique, and it's a different kind of night out, a different kind of dining experience, where I have the honor of working with this great author and cooking something out of their showcasing from their cookbook. This is really a three-dimensional interaction. They get to actually dine with the author. So I'm back here, I'm doing my thing, cooking their recipes, and they're in the dining room with the author. And the author is speaking through the different courses and why they were inspired to write that recipe and where they got it from. And so it's a really interesting night out.
What are we making today?
We are making jerk wings.
Ooh,
so very Canadian, because these are super local. They're fresh from the market this morning. They are grown just 20 minutes away from here, and they're all free range and grain fed. And so if you can see they're gorgeous and plump. And the jerk, I thought, is, you know, it's so freezing cold out right now.
Yes.
It'll warm everybody up, a little bit of the Caribbean. And
We need that now.
Yeah,
We do.
definitely.
We need it. Take it away.
thanks. So we've got the wings, and they just need to be patted dry. And all of this is basically the prep for it. So once you have all of this done, it all goes into the food processor and gets blitzed up. So we have garlic, lots of nice jalapeno, fresh, diced onion, soy, a nice OJ, fresh ground pepper, sugar, some cinnamon, some vinegar, a little bit of oil, some fresh grated nutmeg, and some thyme, and some cumin. There we go. And it just gets coated on the wings. And then this just goes in the fridge and gets marinated overnight. So all those flavors are gonna work straight into the wings. So these are gonna be great for any kind of party. And if you get these big, gorgeous wings, you know, there's a lot of chicken on it, so you don't have to feel that, you know, you're just eating the fried part. And these are baked, so they're just beautiful. And we're gonna coat the extra stuff. Anything excess can get coated on. And then about halfway through, so in about 15 minutes, we're gonna flip them and rebaste them in all the sauce that's sort of lifted from here.
Rose has helped shape Canada's culinary landscape since 1979, and her latest book, A Taste of Canada, is worth trying out because, quite frankly, Canada's cuisine is delicious and distinctive. And I can't wait to try one of these. Get the book, this is so good.